Let's jump right into the non-spoiler section. So yeah, if you haven't seen the show yet, I'm not sure what you're doing here, but we appreciate you being here, and we're not going to spoil it. So please, in the comments, don't spoil anything yet until we get to the spoiler section of the show. Yeah. This is the part of the show where we get really vague and usually talk about food at some point.
Yeah, we do. We equate everything to food.
We do. And at the end of this non-spoiler talk, we will take your questions and we will take your chat. But during this part, we're just going to be chatting about it ourselves, throwing our thoughts out there. So listen up, baby. Pros and cons, man. Vague pros and cons.
Yes.
There is so much. I'm still kind of just digesting it all.
Right. Yeah. You said that before the show started.
I did.
Yeah. So just let it.
Speaking of digestion,
give it to us.
When you eat way too much food, how do you? What is the next thing you usually do to help the digestion process? Right, like
eat
maybe
more
drink
food.
Drink a lot of water, maybe. Right,
it just pushes it out.
Yeah. This episode had a lot to chew on, and holy smokes, was it what 50 minutes? It was a long one, right?
It was a long one.
It was. Honestly, and it could have been longer.
It could have been longer. It flew by. That's the best. When an episode like this flies by, you know it was good because you don't know how to react. You're like, that's it? Oh my goodness.
Right.
Yeah.
Good grief.
It was kind of reminiscent of an Andor episode. You wanted more at the end.
Exactly.
You're like, wait, that's all? That's all we're getting?
Yeah.
Come on, man. That wasn't even a whole appetizer.
Right.
I still want more.
Right. Like, in some ways, when we were watching it, I was kind of like, screw the rest of the season.
Right.
Why didn't we just get this? Like,
exactly.
I would have just almost preferred just this.
Yeah.
Just this.
Yeah, no,
just
like
this
should have been
moments.
like.
Okay, there are moments. But you cut out all the fluff and make it like 5 episodes and give us like straight Mandalorian stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been epic.
Yeah. This should have been like 4 episodes ago.
Yeah, like knowing when to cut things out is sometimes more important than just leaving it in.
Absolutely.
You know? Because sometimes it's like a tumor.
Well, especially
you
if
get rid of it. It's just weighing you down.
Especially in this season, we only get 8 episodes a season.
Yeah.
Like, why are you putting fluff in this season?
Fluff?
It just doesn't make sense, you know? Just get to the point.
Yeah.
Fluff, yeah.
Fluff, yeah, man.
No, I mean, this is the best of Mando right here, I think.
Yeah.
I think we return to full Mando form.
It did.
Mostly full Mando form. We have maybe a few things we want to talk about in the spoiler section of things that maybe we had questions about. But right out of the beginning of this episode.
Ooh, yeah, starting off strong.
Starting off strongish after the first
Strongish.
Yeah.
Actually started off sluggish, but it quickly spun into the real Mandalorian.
It started
show.
off Blade Runner. That's what
It was definitely Blade Runner. I was like, I don't know if I like this or not.
Yeah.
But we did get a lot of answers to the questions that we had yesterday night in the, anticipation then what happens next. We got a lot of answers that we've been asking this entire season. Would you guys agree with me there?
Yep.
I agree, yeah, for
and
sure.
That was exciting to finally have some resolution to a few things.
Yeah, and it was like finally we got the core. We've gotten to the core of the season, and we're on the second to last episode.
Yep.
Like we were all when we were watching it, we're like, why didn't you just have this intro part like 4 episodes ago, or start off the season with this?
Yeah.
Like, I know you're trying to save stuff in some ways, but that would at least that would have given us a reason to be like, okay, there's some filler, but we know we're at least getting to that.
We know
main
where
plot.
we're going. Yeah,
but the whole rest of the season, we're like, what are we doing here? In some ways, what's the point of all this? Give us a reason. That would have given us a solid reason, but maybe it was because they were waiting until after Celebration, kind of like what you were saying, Dan, the other night. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. But just starting it off strong. That started off strong. Then name dropping things. I didn't necessarily like that it was connecting to something else.
Yeah.
I'm very conflicted about that. I understand.
Ish.
But don't. Why? I mean, it's a failed property. Sorry.
Jane Doe, this is funny. She said, just take the win, guys.
Just take the win.
Just take the win.
Hey, okay.
Yeah, it was a win.
Yeah,
but we still have some qualms about this win.
Yes.
Was it earned?
There are things that even in
not necessarily.
Even in a victory, there are things you can improve. Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
The best athletes
Yeah.
in their greatest Super Bowl victories or whatever sport it is,
They can always be
there's
better.
always something they can improve on. And that's what we like about Mandalorian. That's what we like about Star Wars. But you're absolutely right. This episode was a absolute win.
Yeah.
Unequivocal.
Unequivocally.
Whatever. But
I'd
it was
say
amazing.
overall it's a win, but there's still points to it that I'm like,
Kind of.
it's like little
done
jabs.
without that,
It's
yeah.
more like little jabs that are adding up a lot for me anyway.
Oh,
The
brother.
more I think about it, but as
Yeah,
far as
I know
like
what you mean.
pros go, I would say like the action was epic.
Yep.
I mean, there was some scenes where I was just like, that is a lot of money. Like it looked good.
Yeah.
Whenever there was some stuff that happened on the planet that they go to, I'm being very vague and generic. That like one specific area where a lot of things are happening. I'm just like, that is a lot of CGI money right there, but it looks good. And this is what I want to see.
Right?
This is what
this
we should have been
whole
seeing.
season should have been.
Yes. So the pros are the action's awesome. We're just definitely like leaps and bounds the story in this.
Moves it forward.
Like, in the first
In a
like
good
10
direction.
minutes.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that was the majority of the season moving forward now.
Right.
I feel like they established stuff earlier on, but it was like the beginning and end of like every episode before this in some ways. But the pros are that's awesome. There was tons of action. We got to see a boatload of
You can't say that.
I can't say that. Interesting things, interesting
Interesting
characters. It's just culminating to
good
something.
developments.
We're finally culminating to something,
Yeah.
and we get to see all of the title of this show together in some ways.
Yeah.
And I love seeing it. And that's what I wanted this whole season to be. Like we should have just been starting there, not slowly building up to it. Like this should have been the main goal of the whole season. Anyway, there's a lot of pros there. It was a lot of fun. And there were some surprises along the way, which I enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
There was definitely some humor, which both, as a dad, it kind of was annoying, but also at the same time, it was funny. So I'll take that. I'll take the win there too. What about you? What about pros for you, Nick?
Yeah, no, I think you hit the nail on the head.
Anything else you can think of that? What'd you think about the villain?
Paying off. It was it's about time they brought the villain in.
Brought the villain in, yeah.
Because it's like, who are we fighting against? Nobody knows.
Right.
I mean, they,
And there's some things we'll go into in spoilers with that as well.
Yeah.
For what that character was wearing, which was interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
There's some connections here we're making.
There definitely are some connections.
Yeah.
What about you, Dan? What do you think of this episode? Pros.
I absolutely loved this episode, and I liked the answers that we got and the questions. It felt heavy, like the weight of the Star Wars universe, Mandalorian verse that we've come to expect from seasons 1 and 2. I feel like we missed some of that tone that we had been asking for.
Great point.
We're like, we haven't seen the tone of Mando season 1 and 2, and then all of a sudden here we are. It's like almost like we guessed the episode 7 and 8 is their own movie.
Yeah.
And it's the real Mandalorian show here. They've been kind of setting things up to this point, and maybe they had to do that, and we're just not giving them enough credit. But I think they have set it up, and we can basically forget about a lot of the other episodes, other than little plot points here and there, plus some Dinbo in those episodes as that relationship has expanded.
Yeah.
But now that we have arrived, Mandalorian is here just in time for the finale.
Right.
But it was a great episode, and I was so excited that it was longer than like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But it was still, even then, felt a little short, right? We wanted more.
Because you wanted more.
That's how you know it's a good episode in a lot of ways.
It's like
if you get to the end of the episode and you're like, I want more, that means you've done something right. If you get to the end of the episode and you're like, what did I just watch?
What did I just
I'm not
watch?
sure about this.
Right.
Then that probably wasn't quite the success of an episode that it should have been.
Yeah. It's like eating a Chinese buffet. You're like, oh man, I'm so full, but I want more. So you keep eating, and it's a big mistake.
It's a big mistakey.
But not this. I don't know where I was going with that. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. We got to tie it into food somehow.
I want Chinese food.
This is like, so it's like if the Mandalorian season 3 was Chinese buffet, like what would this be at the end of that buffet?
At the end,
like
of
you
the
finally
buffet.
get to like, would you say like the sesame chicken or the orange chicken? Like
It's like
we're
the
now
chicken on a
getting
stick.
into the
Might be seagull.
my
Nobody really knows.
nobody knows.
It's the mystery meat on a stick. Yeah, I'd say it's kind of like that. I'll save the crab rangoon for a better episode.
You think so? Maybe
Yeah.
the last episode.
It's almost there. It's almost to the crab rangoon.
Yeah.
But it's like a soggy crab rangoon.
It's not quite there.
Like a slightly soggy crab rangoon. Gosh, I want Chinese food.
I know. It's making me hungry. Is anybody hungry in the chat? Let us know. What do you think,
I want
Dan?
you
Have we
guys-
gotten to the sesame chicken? Have we gotten to the real meat of the season finally?
Yes, we are in the meat. We are in the mystery meat. We are
We're
ready
in
to
the
Mystery
go.
meat on a stick.
It kind of is.
They answered some mysterious mystery meat questions, and they set us up for another mysterious meat side dish.
Substitute. Yeah.
We don't know. They unraveled some things, and they wrapped up some things, and they unraveled some things. Right? We have a couple of
Right.
questions at the end of this episode that we're like, "Ooh, I wonder if this means this now, and this means this." Right? That's
Right.
the best
Right.
of Star Wars. They answer a few questions while leading you into unknown territory, and they definitely did that at the end of this one. And I'm definitely talking about Chinese food.
Yeah.
Yes.
So-
I want you guys in the chat to vicariously go eat Chinese food for me.
For us. Yes, please. We would love it.
Robert G said, Brosen lady, I can't eat bread, rice for another day, so stop complaining.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry about
Sorry,
that.
bro.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
But
that's
others
just
are
what we
saying they
do.
are hungry.
Okay.
Right.
Well, go get some Chinese food when you can.
Yeah, go get some food.
Eddie said he just had chili cheese fries with pastrami on top for dinner.
Pastrami?
Wow.
Some chili cheese.
Chili cheese.
Man,
Interesting.
yeah. Oh.
Anybody ever do like hot dogs, but it's got macaroni and cheese?
Let me
on
stop
top?
you right there.
And
Absolutely.
yeah, but you put barbecue sauce on top of the macaroni and cheese.
I haven't tried that yet.
So it's like a barbecue mac and cheese hot dog or brat
Okay,
with
yeah.
cheese inside of it.
Usually
delicious.
I just stop at the hot dog with mac and cheese on it.
Yeah. It is so good. If you've never tried that, try
I mean, I
that
want to clog my arteries. I don't want to give myself a heart attack, though.
immediately.
Yeah, immediately.
Diabetes. All right. Let's throw out some negatives for this real quick. Overall, we liked it. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna say that. I think for
It was
the
good.
non-spoilers, we're gonna say overall, I enjoyed this episode. It's a lot more of what we want to see from
Yeah.
season 3 of The Mandalorian. Chapter 23, correct? Yes.
23.
And it was called The Spies, correct?
The Spies.
Which gets us into some interesting territory, which we will probably go to more in spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers.
So check that out. But yeah, negatives. So pros, action. We're moving the story along finally. We got a point. We got a purpose. We're seeing lots of cool stuff. Like everything is looking really cool.
Yeah.
I'm loving the look of everything. And it's like heavy hitting stuff. We're not getting like fluff. We're not getting fluffing stuff anymore. Just think about this, but as a con, real fast. Think about last episode's tone.
Yep.
Okay. And now think about this episode's tone.
Yeah.
Which do you prefer?
This episode's tone.
Yes.
See, I feel like that's...
It doesn't even fit in the same vein.
Yeah, it's Disney. They can write a good show, but most of the time, it's like the tone is all over the place. They cannot nail the tone of a show.
Yeah.
Like Bad Batch was the same way. This season was the same way. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like, pick a tone, pick a lane, stay in it. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Don't be doing this. That's how you cause accidents.
Squiggly squid.
Squiggly squid.
Serpentine.
Serpentine.
Although,
Serpentine.
I do want to say,
Rev it down.
I don't know how he's doing it, but Matthew is in the chat right now. He's also right
He's
there.
in
So
the
he must be
chat?
chatting through his helmet.
How'd you do that?
How are you doing that, Matt?
He said, hey, he's on his way home from work.
Nice.
In your helmet?
And
But
his
you're right here.
How are you doing this?
He's there,
Impressive.
but not
Most impressive.
entirely there.
What's
So-
Matt, let us know your thoughts.
Yeah, right?
Let us know your
On the
thoughts,
episode. We're speaking non-spoilers. So.
Non-spoilers still, yeah.
Oh, man.
So some other negatives though. Dan, do you want to touch on some negatives? Do you want me to?
Yeah, one quick thing, and I saw it in the chat, but it reminded me. I don't think it's a spoiler, but not enough Dinbo
Yeah.
Agreed. We were.
It didn't go
close.
It didn't go
to
the
greatness.
direction we wanted.
I mean, let's not. Don't get me wrong.
It wasn't
Yeah,
bad.
Yeah, right. But
It got the wheels moving.
got the wheels moving.
Yeah.
It was like grease on a wheel. It got it moving.
Yeah.
I was
Not enough grease though.
I was pleasantly surprised from the perspective of a shorts creator having content to put together. Right? You know,
Right.
there's some meat in there. There's some mystery meat I can work with. So that part has me excited, but I wanted a little bit more, right?
Yeah.
A little bit, actually, a lot more. Let's
Just
be
take
real here.
just take the jump in. Just go for it.
Yeah,
we
seriously.
wanted all of it, and Din
We're
needed
so
to
close.
step
Right.
up. But there was some, so that's maybe slightly a con, but that's just
Yeah.
a Dinbo fan con.
He said almost everything except for the one thing we wanted him to say for that whole
Yeah, pretty much.
part
Yeah.
that we're talking about, which you don't know if you haven't seen the episode. But go see it.
That's a con.
Some other cons, I'll say. Well, it's hard to not spoil it, but I'll just say that it feels like there's some sidelining going on. I
Yeah.
didn't like that.
Whose
in
show
some
is it,
ways.
really?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe that's probably the biggest con I have of this.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah, that's about
Yeah,
it.
we got a
What other cons were there?
There was
I don't know,
another
thinking about
character that came back, but
Oh yeah,
in a
yeah,
different way, and it was I don't know, it's kind of goofy for me.
Yeah, it is kind of.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Right. Yeah, but
Yeah.
there was just some surprises I thought in this were pretty good.
Mhm.
The acting was definitely good. Rick Famuyiwa
Famuyiwa, yeah.
directed this, and man, does his directing shine!
Mhm.
Like he did a great job.
He knows how to direct.
They should just give the season to him. Like they should just have him do every episode because
Right.
pretty much all of our favorite episodes have been Rick directing.
Famuyiwa, yeah. Mhm.
And they give him the heavy hitting stuff too, which is awesome.
Yes. And he handles it well.
Yeah. Oh, and the only other con I'll say is I don't like that it's connecting to something
Yep.
that I don't
Yeah.
enjoy.
And we'll get right
As
to
much,
that.
which
in
I said
spoilers.
that.
And there was a
Yes.
moment in here that we were all slightly saddened by, because I'm not spoiling
Yeah.
it, but we were slightly disappointed at the part that happened, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
so
much to
we
see. Moving
agree.
on.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
And that is would you say that's a negative or?
It's a light negative.
Yeah, I'd say
Yeah.
that.
It's a light negative.
Like it was.
Yeah.
Mostly this episode was full of positives. I have a small other little complaint about pacing and stuff in these episodes.
Right. Yeah.
But
That's
that's
true.
we can talk about that in spoilers because I can break down why they do that as opposed to like Andor. But again,
Right.
you can't really put the show up against Andor. You can, but you can't because it's just two different worlds.
Yeah.
You know, Andor really just changed the Star Wars universe, and so Mandalorian is its own thing. And I'm so happy with what we got in this Mandalorian universe. Just you have to temper your expectations after
Yeah.
seeing something like Andor. You're like,
Mhm.
okay, they're not all going to be this airtight.
Right. And
Yeah.
Right.
we weren't even expecting that one to be airtight.
No.
That was the real shocker there.
Yeah, but there have been moments of this season and in Mandalorian that remind us of Andor.
Yeah.
Would you guys agree? There are
Mhm.
definitely
Oh, yeah.
moments of greatness.
Yeah.
That you're like, ooh, that had the heaviness, that had emotion, that
But
had,
not.
but not that same weight.
No.
Like, Andor
Yeah.
was like one after another after another. It's
Right.
just like
Just-
the emotions.
yeah.
You're just like, I feel sad. I don't even know why. I feel happy. I don't know why. You know,
Like,
Right.
mostly
even-
sad.
Even still, like Andor to me feels way more real.
Yeah.
Like way more raw, way more real. And I know that's the tone they were going for, but I mean they have spies in this, but they feel more campy to me than
Yeah.
they do like a serious tone, which is all right because it does harken back a little bit more to like the original trilogy with this.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like it is a different vein, kind of like you're talking about, Dan. But I think that's part of why we liked Andor so much is because it felt so real.
Right.
Like, and the dialogue was amazing.
And the story was just well written.
Yeah, and the acting, everything was like chef's kiss.
Chef's keys.
Other than I'd say the action, where the action really shines and the
Yeah.
purpose and everything is just like, oh yes. If
We've
you
wanted-
could just mix the two, it'd be
Yep.
like the perfect
That's
Star Wars.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
that's what things will lead to in the film version because they
Like-
can airtight that script.
Like Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni need to have Tony Gilroy come in and look
Oh,
over their
yeah.
scripts.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they had that happen, I think that would take the show to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
then Mando could not be beat.
Right.
I think.
Be airtight.
Yeah, and then
No leaks.
Favreau and Filoni should just step in for Tony Gilroy and be like, all right, well, you helped us with the dialogue. Let's help you like end on an epic note.
Right.
And maybe it was budgetary concerns too with Andor. They might have been hampered by budget and stuff like that. But there's so much that could have gone on behind the scenes. We've talked long enough on the non-spoilers. I think everybody out there is pretty excited to get some spoilers. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch the entire episode, you can click the link down in the description and you can watch us completely.